so. Well, hey, man, it's great to meet you. I want to begin our conversation before we get into your life as an expert coach by asking you 4 years ago, we were trying to figure out this pandemic. How are we going to get through it? How long is it going to last? How did you get through that time period and how did it change the way that you approach business?
Um, on the business side, a whole lot. On the personal side, here and there. First, of course, nobody knew what was going to happen.
Right.
So before then, I had already developed the habit of not watching the news. So on the personal side, I think it affected me so much because I started watching TV, started watching the news. It was just hard to block out all the noise. But on the business side, it changed a whole lot. Before then, I knew I had to segue from clocking in with service type business into some type of product, and I didn't know how to. So what the pandemic did for me was it slowed me down to really, really focus on this transition. And I was looking for a reason to stop filming and do something totally different. And that just gave me the opportunity, it gave me the time to study more. I bought a lot of courses. A lot of people made money from me. And yeah, but it was good times though. On the personal side, it really was good times. I had my friend, I had my girlfriend at the time. We had a park, a dog park that had like a belt line, and we used to just go out and do a lot of outdoors. So it wasn't as claustrophobic as a lot of people experienced it, but
Yeah.
yeah, we couldn't block out the news.
So talk to me a little bit about exactly what you do right now in 2024. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of third grade students at Career Day. One of the
Yes.
kids says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer that child?
I say I help people find their unique voices so they can become the highest paid teachers in their niche.
So what did you want to be in the third grade? What was your dream?
In the third grade, I think I wanted to be an engineer because my dad was an engineer. It was just the vibration of my dad wanting to be an engineer. And he
Yeah.
used to put me on his shoulder and take me through this big yard with big machines. I was just fascinated by the fact that he was hands-on, and yeah, I want to be an engineer. That's all I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah. Well, take me back to your childhood, where you were born and raised, and how these seeds of becoming a coach and helping people get to where they want to be in life. How did all of this evolve into who you are today?
First, I've always been a competitive child. Going to school was fun for me because I was a top grader, So I never really read. I just studied all the time. I was fascinated about back in the day, there was nothing like AI. It was reading the encyclopedia, reading the dictionary, reading the Bible. So big books just kind of fascinated me. They had pictures, count me in. So go to school. My teachers loved me. They used to call me computer brain. I just loved to be competitive. Then I started doing a lot of debates, and I was just that child that loved to fix things. Like I say, I have an engineering mind because I probably wanted to be like my dad. My dad's words would be like, "Listen, if you're an engineer and you can't fix your own light bulb, then you're not an engineer. Whatever you have to put it into practical." Um, so growing up, I was just that kind of person that could analytically look at things and fix stuff. And it went on for a while. Then my dad left my mom and kind of abandoned us. And I didn't understand what that was about. So I went through my angry moments until I found a man who was a filmmaker at the time. I was just looking for a father somewhere. And I became a filmmaker. Luckily for me, it was a great mentor. It gave me all the tools, all the strategies, all the connect that I needed, and I got into filming. Rose to becoming a director, producer. Had every other skill because I worked my way up from being a cinematographer to editor to colorist. I did all the all hands-on work, and when I moved so I was doing ads at the time, anyways. That was where I was on film, just shooting TV commercials. But I knew in 2008 that the internet came because I was already fascinated with studying, and just finding out, what was next. And the internet, I just want to be part of this whole new internet marketing. I was already using television as a tool, my camera as a tool to sell because I was shooting ads. And I was looking for this new media, and that's what brought me to America. First in 2009, and I kept going back and forth, traveling everywhere. I went to South Africa at the time. went to London at the time, went to Dubai at the time, but everybody wanted to come to America. So I just figured out why not just go to America and try to figure it out in America. Yes.
So who's been a hero for you? Who's been an inspiration in your life?
Lloyd Weaver, most definitely. Met him at 17, changed my entire life, changed the whole trajectory, gave my life a meaning, gave me the schools, the schooling I needed, the skills I needed, everything, and I just shadowed him. So yes, Lloyd Weaver. That's really my father, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah,
Not my
yeah.
father, but yeah.
So if you can meet anybody alive on the planet right now that you respect, whether it's in your field or otherwise, who'd you
Yeah.
love to meet and talk to?
Um, Amy billionaire. And for some reason, Elon Musk
Yeah,
seems to come into my mind. The reason is, how are you so disruptive in well-regulated industries and still maintain the kind of disruptive character that you have when you still have to comply with compliance? If that makes any sense. So something is not true about him. Is either somebody who truly listens to authority, or he's just lying about who he is. But I find him very fascinating, and just to build multi, eight-figure businesses. Like, how do you do that? Pretty
yeah.
much, yes.
So what is your motivation every day? Obviously, someone like Elon has a lot of motivation and drive for what they do. What is that for you? What gets you out of bed? What drives you to succeed and to evolve as a human?
It's changed over time. Right now, I'm at a place where first it took me 43 years to have my first child. And I'm in a place right now where most of the things that I do, I just want to impact babies. I lost a child in 2014, my first brother child, and just being in the hospital and see babies suffer. I'm in a place right now where I'm just taking, everything that I have, my community investments made, and I'm trying to help a lot of kids in Africa. There are a lot of babies that are born in poverty. There are a lot of babies that are born with not enough medicals. Just to get started. And if I can give the first milk, help pay out the first surgery, and just give back to babies so that they can have a good start into this world. The world is already hard, and just them born into that kind of situation just breaks my heart. And that's really where I'm at right now. It's changed over time.
So what's been your favorite client success story so far?
Oh, it's been one of the most disappointing, and also one of the quickest and fastest. I went to a mastermind. I was speaking at a mastermind, and this young lady approached me, and she said she was into permanent makeup, and she wanted to explore the business. And I asked her a few questions just to kind of understand what I knew nothing about permanent makeup back then, just to get an understanding of her business and where she was. And one thing I could deduce was the fact that she was like me. She was working on the job. She made me understand it took about 3 hours to get a procedure done, and she had to do about 3 clients a day. She was overbooked because she was greatly good at it. She couldn't stop, and she was just in this hamster wheel, and her back was hurting. And I asked her how much she was making at the time, and she made me understand she was making somewhere around $10,000 a month. I'm like, no, you can make about $50,000 a day. She's like, how do you make $50,000 a day? I'm like, listen, I looked on her Instagram. To me, she had the wow factor. She had, if I'm correct, over 50,000 followers, organic followers. And I looked through her comments, and people, whatever she did post, people would comment. I knew she had all the elements. So I told her, I said, okay, I'm going to charge her for coaching, which I did. She thought at that time was really, really expensive. I charged her 21,000 then. And she thought, this is the most expensive coaching I've ever paid for. I said, well, rich people don't ask how much it costs. They ask how much am I going to get back. So what is it going to be? Can I show you how to make close to 50,000 dollars in a day, and she's like $50,000 in a day. Well, that kind of brought her into my program, and I spent the next 2 weeks showing her how she can use media. She at that time she did one or two classes, I believe, but she had this myopic view on how to coach, and she loved people over her shoulder so she can have more intimate moments with them. I'm like, no, listen, you're gonna post on your Instagram, just do what I'm asking you to do. Post on your Instagram right now, asking people to join your next program. We did a quick landing page, just a form that they can fill in, and at that time, we argued back and forth. I told her to put it for $2,500, 3 days, and I was going to help her close at the end of the day. She said, okay, and then we put it up. She got back to me, found the location, and if I'm correct, about 7 to 10 girls applied immediately. It was supposed to be 20 girls. I told her to go for 20, but because she had imposter syndrome, she wasn't sure how it was going to pan out. And I brought on a camera, did the overhead shots, made sure it was tight on the eyebrow while she was doing a microblading. I had two cameras. They could see every little, head on the eyebrow. I had the microphone and the sound system in the room. She had the girls away from her, and she went through the procedure for days teaching, and I talked to the girls and all of that. And she made that money real fast. And she's
Yeah.
like, wow, that she never thought, I said, listen, the same amount of effort, just introducing some type of media, bringing your camera, closing with your camera, and have a sound. You can scale this to 20 people in a room. You can put 200 people in a room. You can do it over Zoom. It really doesn't matter. So she saw the possibility, and she now wanted to do our course. I'm like, okay, cool. Now we can get to the next level where you can do a course, enroll more people. And just now that you know what's working, all you got to do is repeat this monthly. And the next gig, why I said it was disappointed, the next gig she was trying to bring another lady in, and the lady definitely was doing what she wanted to do at that point in time. And she just never rocked with it again. She came with all the insecurities. Why does she want so much from me? And all of that. I'm like, listen, you keep asking the wrong question. But one thing that I learned was I showed her how to make money real quick, but I didn't have enough time to work on our mindset.
Yeah.
And as long as our internal capacity could not align with the amount of money that she could make, she struggled all the time. Not because she didn't have the possibility, not because she hadn't done it, not because she hadn't made about $20,000 in a day. She saw it. She knew it was possible right now. She didn't have to put so much work. It was supposed to be a day program. She made it 3 days. She just had all of these things that she was kept going back and forth. And she called me one time and said, listen, I think I love the fact that I gave you money, but I found the secret, and I can go help myself. I said, no, you can't. You still need work. But she never came back. She thought she could do it. I know she called me sometime last year trying to confess how much she's been through a roller coaster because I've been monitoring her. And I hope she gets back. If she gets
Yep.
back, I just need her to be in a place where she knows what she's done to herself, so she can actually go through mentorship. And hopefully I can get her where I really want to get her.
So you're in the business of giving good advice, like with this client. What's the
Yes.
best advice you've ever gotten?
The best advice I've ever gotten is the 4 levels of value. And that's changed my entire life because I was in a place where I was struggling, and I met Myron Golden. And when he exposed that to me, it just changed the way I viewed service, work. And the 4 levels of value, for those who don't understand what I'm talking about, is there are 4 levels of value. The lowest level is implementation, when you do the work itself. It doesn't matter how do you do the work. Right now, we're both clocking in right now, so we're doing the work. That's implementation. And the two resources they're using at that time is your time and your energy. And those are two depletable resources that you can lose at any time. So it's better for you to go to the next level of the levels of value, which is unification, where you have people, doing the work for you so that you can start buying your time back. And the third level is communication, which is what you're doing right now. You record yourself one time, you put the digital assets right there, and it serves as a hook to either bring in more clients to you. And if you have some type of affiliate link in it, that's digital real estate that can make you money over time. So communication is what artists do. They record themselves one time, coaches do, they record themselves one time. And you can make a whole lot of money with that. But the last level is imagination. Imagination is where you have gone through the process and you've created a tool or system, whatever it is that you can charge monthly recurring revenue on, and people who use that tool will get almost the same results. It might be low, but it's high volume. And at that level, you can scale to whatever level you want to be at because you've totally removed yourself and you've put in a process in this one tool. Example of that is, let's say I want to use Airbnb. At some point, I'm doing the work myself. I'm opening the Airbnbs, I'm cleaning all of that. The next level is I'm employing people to do that, to manage the whole process and onboarding and all of that, including cleaning. The third level is I'm teaching people how to start an Airbnb. I can make a whole lot of money without opening all these Airbnbs all over the place. And lastly, I built the Airbnb app where anybody can jump on and still make $2,000, $3,000 or $4,000 every month with something that I imagined and created and put out in the world.
Yeah. So of all of these things that you've done and evolved into, what are you the proudest of?
What have I worked?
What are you the proudest of?
Okay, I don't understand what you're saying.
So everything that you've done and accomplished in your life, what is it that's been the best thing that you're the proudest of?
Oh, the best thing for me are two sides. On the family side is just being able to hold my child. You know, it's something I've always wanted from somebody I love. And I'm living the best life right now, just playing with my son every day. And I can't put, I can't measure that, you know, just what I feel every day that I hold my son and just looking at him, it's just a beautiful soul. So that's on that side. The other side is on the business side is just being out there first, having a purpose to why I'm doing this. And there's a bigger purpose. And I know I can't definitely help all the babies in the world, but just getting started with this is just how much my pain could now create some type of opening and gain. And I'm just looking forward to 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And hopefully somebody can look back and say, oh, you did all of this, but I didn't do it. You know, it's God that led me towards doing that with the pain that I've gone through in my life. So just being able to find that angle, to find a new purpose has always been great. And sharing information and having people just go through, third is going through whatever pain they're going through with coaching or experts that are great at whatever they do. They have a framework that works already, that work already, but they don't know how to segue into this online space. Just helping them and showing them easy steps that they can implement and just make it work is fascinating. You know, when they come back and they say, well, I never thought it was that easy. But it's never easy, just so I don't mislead people. Nothing is easy. Business isn't easy. You still got to show up and show out.
Yeah.
But simple steps to get into where you need to be and buying your time back is the most important thing. If you can make more doing less, who wouldn't love that?
Oh, yeah. So everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, but you run the show. What's your
Yes.
perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Some words to best describe myself is never give up. I believe in failure. A lot of failures lead to wins. So I love to fail because I only fail to win. And Pathfinder, you know, whatever is new, I like to move in that direction. And yes, I mean, those are words that I can say to myself. And most importantly, just stay happy no matter what I'm going through because I just have a grateful heart.
Well said. So if anyone wants to hire you, reach out, learn more about what you're doing, where's the best place to go?
I'll say this, just search or type in go to coach, GOTOCOACH.me, go to coach.me. And I have a wait list there where people can go. And the other place is Instagram. My name is, it's the same name on every platform, but you can catch me on Instagram easy.
Excellent. This is wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your story. Keep doing the great work.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Joe.
Yes, sir.